Greetings, we meet again. I'm here to teach you how to smell stuff. Why should you listen to me? Well, I grew up in the wine industry with a mother with a nose like a bloodhound who taught me how to differentiate between wine varietals at absurdly young age, too young, in fact. And I have maintained an interest in it throughout my entire life, and in my adult life, I have had over 10 years of professional wine and spirits education. And for the last 3 years, I've been judging the country's largest wine competition, where I smell 750 plus wines within a 3-day period, as well as tasting them, obviously. So I know a lot about smelling stuff, and I know a lot about smelling a lot of stuff in a short period of time. So let's get into it. First thing, very basic stuff. Smell everything. Smell wood. What does your fake wood cabinet smell like versus a hardwood cabinet? What does your leather couch smell like compared to one that's been sitting like in your grandma's house for eons? Another big one that's really interesting, go to the produce market, grab a bunch of fruits, buy a bunch of different apples, buy exotic fruits that you've never had before. Go home, smell them, smell the skin, smell them whole, smell them cut up freshly, smell them super ripe, smell them super underripe, smell them cooked, everything. What makes a Fuji apple or a Pink Lady different smell-wise, taste-wise, whatever, than a green apple? Take notes on those things, think about it. Another interesting exercise is do all that, but do it blindfolded. Like, do it with somebody else. Have them just like hold something up to your nose and be like, hey, what do you think this is? And that's a great way of just like creating that scent memory and just, elevating your sense of smell across the board. That's one. Another one is cleansing your palate. When you're smelling a lot of different things, your nose can get very overwhelmed. Your palate can get very overwhelmed. One of the things that we do when I'm judging is they give us like a tray of like very simple cheeses, a little bit of like baguette, and then like some celery. The cheese is really good when you're having a lot of Cabernet, for instance, because it's really heavy. The tannins get really stuck to your tongue, and the fat helps like cleanse your tongue like physically. When you're smelling stuff, think about it the same way, like you're trying to get something in between so that you're not just like layering scents on top of scents on top of scents the way you would flavors on top of flavors on top of flavors. It's not necessarily scientifically the exact same thing, but it is similar. So one of the things that I do when I'm trying to cleanse my nose when I'm judging is I'll just smell like Pellegrino in between just to get something different in. And it kind of gives me a baseline to go off of. It is harder to kind of cleanse your nose because those scent molecules do stick to your nose, similarly to how flavors stick to like the the milia or whatever on your tongue. So but one of the things that perfumers do all the time and chemists do is they'll smell their bare skin to give them kind of more of a baseline, and that does help a lot. I wear unscented lotion, so when I go to, a shop, I'll just like smell like I'll like lift my shirt up and like smell my shoulder or something, and it really does help. I know some of y'all are just like all scented all the time, wearing scented lotions and whatnot, but it is very helpful. And also, some of those fragrances and lotions don't last all day, so just smelling like your skin can be a really great way to get your nose back to baseline. Another one is, what we all know, scents for wine and perfume morph as they dry down or as they open up and are exposed to oxygen. When you pour a glass of wine, you're gonna have like a certain scent, a certain flavor that's going to be a little different than what it is 30 minutes down the line or an hour down the line. Same with fragrance. You don't want to judge a fragrance fully once you just spray it and you smell it and you're just like, okay, I'm done. You want to set it down, like write down what it is on the strip or whatever, smell it again a couple minutes later, smell it again, like you know, another 15 minutes later or so. Try to spend as much time as you can with that fragrance, which is why so many people are big proponents, including myself, of getting samples so that you can wear it, you can exist with it, you can smell what it's like after, you know, like sweating at the gym or something. I'm actually not big, I do not wear perfume at the gym unless it's extremely simple and very fresh smelling. Don't be baccaratting at the gym, y'all. Let's be real. So anyways, you know, you want to exist with it and see how a fragrance morphs and changes over time. Another one that I think is really overlooked across the board, close your eyes. When you close your eyes and you're smelling something, or when you deplete one sense, your other senses are more elevated than they would have been otherwise. If you close your eyes, you're allowing yourself to hone in on certain fragrances or certain nuances about that fragrance that you may not have picked up previously, because you're really allowing yourself to be enveloped by that. And then another one, very important for wine and fragrance, liquor, whatever. When you start to smell it a few inches away from your nose. That way you're getting more of the fragrance like in the air in addition to the strip, instead of just smelling the strip right up against your nose. Additionally, you don't want to get it like right up on your nose holes, because then, especially if it's still wet, even if it's dry, you're gonna get some of those molecules from the fragrance on your nose, and then for the rest of the time that you're smelling, you're gonna be smelling like whatever, plus with a little nuance of whatever you got stuck on the skin of your nose. So smell it at a distance, and then you can like move it a little bit more closely and smell more deeply. The last one, I think, is the biggest game changer and has made my experience with smelling and tasting and judging much easier, especially when you're going through a lot of stuff in a short period of time. I feel like a lot of people's impulse is to go like this, like, and do a really long, pronounced smell when they're smelling anything, when they're trying to like get a good sniff on. That's the opposite of what you generally want to do. It overloads your like senses. It overloads your olfactories. I'm basically that. And it doesn't let you pick up on a lot of the complexities and nuances that you're looking for. So what you want to do is do a lot of short, quick sniffs that are like just like natural, short layers of sniffs all in a row. That way you're like not overloading anything. You're keeping it like a natural kind of like breathing rhythm, more or less. And you're not just going like all in and just going nuts on it. That will allow you to pick up on a lot more of those complexities and stuff. Another one with wine, which I think works relatively well with perfume, is smelling with your mouth open. With wine, it's more important because you're tasting it too, but you're getting more of like, you're just like smelling with your whole face when your mouth is open, and it can help quite a lot. So I hope these help. This was a 10-minute video almost, so I apologize, but you know, it's a lot of things to do about smelling. Let me know if any of this helps. Cool. That's it. See ya.